Welcome back. We've got a little mini series here. We're doing a shop build of R32 GTST street car on a budget. And we're gonna see if we can get an RB20 to sound like the billet RB28 or this RB28 for hardly anything. We are gonna have to put, I'm gonna put a Haltech in it. We're gonna have to put a high mount manifold on it. That's pretty much where we stop. And we're gonna turn the revs up and I reckon we'll get pretty close. And it's also a new street car build. We're gonna clean up an R32 and do it some justice. And that's what we're doing. So the first thing you do when you get a car, if you're me, is you put it on your dyno because it's running 20 pound through a high float R33 GTS-T ball bearing turbo and it rips. And that's coming from me. I drive a lot of fast cars and we tune cars for a job. It's fast. I don't know how fast though. I'm thinking like 250 kilowatts, which would be sick. That's perfect, but it might be more. I don't know, it might make 210, maybe I'm wrong. But so we're gonna throw it on the dyno. We're gonna put the number plates on it and then we're gonna polish it because it's been resprayed and it's just a bit disrespected. But this car has all its interior, 95% of the aircon bits. It's got a spare wheel, it's got all the boot trims, it's got everything, which is really hard in 2026 to find an R32 that's not, like it still has hikers. That's what we're talking about here. No adjustable arms, doesn't have coilovers, it's got king springs. Like this is a good example of a car that we can now do properly. Respect it. So we're gonna do pretty much, it'll probably line up with coilovers. I wanna do GK Tech's bolt-in knuckle kit, so it's not no cut and shuts, none of that. Hikers delete because obviously it's hikers. This car came with a rear-wheel drive power steering pump, a spare igniter, and a spare CAS. How good? I didn't even know it was in the boot. So I'll show you some clips of the interior now and just the car overall. It has had a cover on it and it kind of like it's marked the paint, but I have seen photos of this car 2 years ago and it was like sick. So I think if we just give it a light buff, it's gonna come up like mint for a 32 1993 model. So like, yeah, she's an old girl, but she's good. So we'll put it on the dyno. I'll show you some clips of it now though, so you can see what we're talking about. Or maybe I've already put them in the video while I'm talking, but let's put it on the dyno and strap it down and let it eat, see what happens, because that's, I have to know. It's been killing me. So let's do it. All right, let's talk about this. The tune on this thing's pretty close considering it's got a Pexi SAFC, I think. Or is it Blitz? Can't remember. It's like one of those airflow meter things that like fails out your airflow meter, allows you to run more boost, 20 pound on the nose. 206 is the best we got. It comes on at, if we look here, we'll go over here and just do a bit of boosticles. Boost. Steady as 20 pound. So just 20.99, 20.09, 19.9. So it comes on at though. So with this new turbo and manifold, we're still 4,500. I think we can replicate that even with a high mount and a bit bigger turbo. Power wise, I don't care. I want the noise and I want a fun street car. So if it makes 220, if that's 206 right now, 206 is fine. It's fun as, and it'll last forever like that. So I won't do diffs, won't do axles, won't do gearboxes. So we'll just keep it chill. We're just going for a cool sound. So we're gonna go and hit the detailing side of my life, which I don't do. I clean all my cars, but I don't know how to polish stuff. Fuck. So watch me, yeah, if you're a detailer, don't watch this. So long and short of it now is, after we made a whopping 204 kilowatts, I think 205, that's gonna be the fastest 200 kilowatts I've ever driven. But anyway, that doesn't matter. We now know exactly what we need to replicate when we go high mount. Might make it a little bit laggier on purpose to then push it a bit higher in the top. It's only running a 7, turns out. Once again, not enough. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a wash now. It's covered in dirt. Like just shit. It's like it got washed and then someone mowed the lawns next to it. Rinse it and then try and dry it as best we can before I do any polishing, and then we'll see how it comes up. And hopefully it's good. We'll see. Alright, so she's drying after her rinse. The paint is looking pretty horrendous still. So I'm gonna do that thing that like Instagram details do. I'm gonna like tape a bit, right? Buff it, remove it, and we'll be like, oh my God, this is brand new. We'll see. So let's just I'll do a section of the roof. We'll see how that looks. I'm gonna start with the roof, then maybe a quarter, maybe hit the bonnet, then start the sides, I guess. One more disclaimer though, I do not know what I'm doing. So we'll just do some B-roll of me buffing this up, and then, yeah, we'll talk about the plans and what parts I've ordered and stuff, and that'll be the end of this episode, I reckon. We'll keep this quick. Nice and quick and fun. So let's do that. I'm gonna start with the bonnet, because I think, this is my theory, someone's had a blanket on it. Jack was pointing this out at the other factory. If you look, it looks like it's like, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it kind of looks like it's a carbony weave type thing. But I think what that means is someone's like had like a doona or a blanket trying to protect it, trying to do the right thing, and it's just left a bit of a mark on the paint. So I'm just going to tape a line, we'll buff a whole section, and then we'll see how that goes. Yeah. So obviously when I'm detailing my customers' cars, because you know, that's what I do for a job, I use these pads. Never used that. This says extreme cut, so I don't think I should use that because I'll probably ruin the paint. Light cut. We've used that before, and then we've got a finishing one. So let's just assume that this is not good for me. We'll see what that does. A light cut sounds good to me, and then I think finishing, polishing, I probably won't even use that with polish. I'll just use maybe with wax or something later if it comes up good. I'm also using, let me go get it. So, we're using, this isn't a brand thing, Maguire's Ultimate Compound, only because I've used this before and it's pretty hard to like damage paint, and obviously this being a darker color. I've polished cars before and it's always been horrendous. It's so hard. So if you're a detailer and you're good at it, like the guy that did the 34, amazing, like full ceramic coated, it's sick. But when I went there, he had it fully sanded down and I was like, I'm leaving, honestly. Looks gangster now though. So this is called Compound and Clarity Restorer. This just sort of brings back that deepness. It'll get rid of the light scratches and it should bring the color back because the paint's not that old, but it's just been sitting outside. So I'm gonna try this first. Yes, you can get a proper cutter, then polish it and do all that, but I guarantee I'll stuff that up. This is like noob friendly, so let's get a time lapse happening. First report is pretty much car detailer, so hit me up if you want your car detailed. Obviously, 10 minutes in, got to figure it out. No, that's working. I think, oh, tripod, get out of my face. I think a heavier cut, because you can still see some of those marks, but it's still a massive improvement. But I don't know whether I try that first before I do the whole car and then decide I need to do it like a proper cutters. So you can see already, let's see if I can turn this on, it might help. You can see there, see the difference? And you can literally tell the line that I was up to. So there's still just a bit of this and this, but still massive difference. So I don't know whether I just keep going with that, because now we've got some actual color. Do I keep going with that, or do I go to that other pad I was talking about that I didn't think I should use, the aggressive cut pad with the same compound? Let's see if that works. Might try that. Let's do that. Give that a crack.